Welcome back, everyone, to the Catbot Cafe, episode number 5. Today is February 23rd, 2022. I'm joined with my fellow co-founders here. I have Arc Father, Way of Will. Rawls, I think, is absent today, but we also have Nkoi. We're here to share all things Catbot. We want to just be able to take this time and bring you into the team, what we discuss, and how it is that we can really make the Catboticans just proud of the work we're doing and excited for all the things that are going on. We have a very exciting episode. I'm going to hand it over to Nkoi for our MC.
Thanks, Way of Jin. And just want to shout out to the Korean community. We have live Korean translation for this Catbot Cafe. The link is in the description of this video. And for tonight's show, we have a full show tonight. We'll do a little shout outs. We'll get into some lore and speak some sneak peeks under the hood in 3D production land with Way of Will. We have an exciting giveaway announcement today with Sunmia Club, K-pop NFT project. Our guest tonight is Gary from Sovereign, and we'll answer some of those community questions asked on the Discord. And we look forward to this amazing show. So let's start it off with some shout outs. Hey, Triton, you got any good shout outs out there?
Yeah, just one. So yesterday was a special day, 2/22/2022, and it was also my birthday. And this is embarrassing, but I just want to say thank you, everyone, for wishing me a birthday. Very, very nice.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Moving on.
All right, so let's move on. So we got an exciting giveaway announcement this week with Sunmia Club. And Jin, can you share with everyone all the exciting developments that are happening in Korea?
Very exciting news today. Earlier this morning, Sunmia launched her first NFT, and we are very fortunate and lucky to be working with her in a collaboration partnership. So we will be doing a giveaway today, as Nkoi has mentioned. Today, I believe, was a pre-sale, which went very well, and I believe the public sale is tomorrow. So we put some tweets out there, and it was on fire. So clearly, there's a huge demand out there for these NFTs. We wish the best to anyone for our giveaway winners. So good luck to you all.
All right, yeah. So we hope we have a lot of K-pop fans out there. So for the rules for the Sunmia Giveaway Club, we have Chelsea on the show. So Chelsea, you want to tell them how it's done?
Hey, sure. Hello, Catboticans. To celebrate our new collab, we're giving away 2 Sunmia Club NFTs. Rules are as follows. Follow at Catbotica or at Catbotica_KR, our Korean page. Retweet the Sunmia Club Twitter post and tag 3 friends. Fill out the Google form in the tweet, and our winners will be announced February 26th, 8 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Chelsea. So you'll see this post on our Twitter. Just retweet it and fill out that form, and it's going to be great. So next up, we got Way of Will. How you doing, Way of Will? You there? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm always doing awesome. I'm awesome.
Love your camera.
Yeah.
Look at that sick camera.
Yo, that's why we're doing awesome, man. Because I got the camera working, feeling good, feeling it's helping my ego a little bit, feeling great. But yeah, gonna go back in time just a little bit because we were rushing ahead on the shader development of all the items. And we're feeling really, really good about them. I mean, the accessories, our team is growing in the 3D department with respect to, modeling, shared development, rigging even, and being able to speak to everyone in each department and, hearing their feedback actually required us to go back to where it all began. So I'm not sure if you guys, you can see my really, really old avatar, my PFP there of the black matte cat and the golden ears. I mean, those are really early days. And actually, what I'm going to show you guys right now, I'm just sharing my screen, and we're looking at just some of the topology that we had to revisit with our Catbot. And so I'll just go in and actually show you some aspects. Just let me know if you guys see that. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, and everyone's really chiming in on this and really contributing at a high level with respect to just like like I said, the topology. And just for those of you guys who don't know what a topology is, it's just when you look at a 3D object, you can sort of see this grid that's going across it, and these are called isoforms, and that's what makes up the model in 3D. And having really good what are called quads is really important, because otherwise, when you're adding sort of like what are called smooth modifiers to add more detail, you really want everything to remain sort of like 3D. So showing this to Rawls the other day and talking to Sunkil, and he's like, man, when we actually rotate these objects, and we want to make sure that nothing sort of intersects, right? So for example, if this was going to rotate like so, there needs to be sort of a gap here so that it doesn't intersect in itself. And so, Rawls drew some designs, and we really, we changed the design in 3D. So it's a little bit different from the 2D design, but very, very excited about how it's actually turning out. So when you look at the back and again, you examine the topology, very, very cool. I'm just going to share my screen with a different view, and just let me know when you guys see that. So this is that same leg that I was showing you guys, but with a little bit of detail from the texturing side of things. And man, I mean, just out of the gate, looking at this, and here I'll just change the lighting here so you guys can see different angles of how the light is actually hitting these surfaces and the type of detail that we're getting. I'll just jump to one more view. Here we go. So I'll just tell me if that's actually looking okay to you guys. But this is, for example, like grungy kind of like dirty cast metal, but we have at least like 25 different surfaces that we're developing. Remember, if you had a red base, car paint textured base, you're going to see a really nice reflective car paint texture with metal flecks. And so if you guys know anything about car surfaces or car paint, you'll know that those flecks really, really matter. And so again, also speaking and working very, very closely with the game company and going through the IP, we talked a little bit about what would suffice as a 2D texture set that would go then translate to their level of detail systems, and 2K seems to be the way to go. So we're feeling really, really good about this. Again, this is just the leg of one texture, but we're very, very excited because we're locking down the 3D model and how that's going to look both in the game, the show that we're developing, and then even future down the road, some of the visual effects things that we're going to be launching. And so, just wanted to show you that quick update. We're really refining the 3D model. As you guys can see, it's looking really, really sick. And can't wait to show you guys more in the days and weeks to come.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I'm working on the 3D generator part. So literally, you can put your Catbot number in, and then you push a button and it'll generate the Catbot in 3D. And it's these guys are working really hard, just so you know, in the background. If you look at all the traits that were drawn in 2D, every one of those things has to be built in 3D. So that's like over 400, 500 assets and models. And I mean, this one leg actually alone has how many pieces to it? It's got like, I would say 20, 14. But like every nut and bolt, and like just thinking about how it's going to rotate, we have to think about all the mechanics and all that stuff, and getting that right in the beginning before we print the 12,000 is so important. So
yeah, exactly. Again, there's a lot of pieces that people won't see. So that even in the cavity, in the chest and the torso area, people don't really see that when they look at the cat, but we're going to actually have breakdowns where you can sort of see inside the torso and what cables actually attached to the heart section. And because those all, have a story. And so, we figured like, well, do we really have to do that? And we figured, well, we're making our own IP. Might as well just, have a story for every single thing, even like how a bolt is constructed, how it fits in and the mechanics around that. So really, really happy with how this is turning out. And again, this is just the leg, and hopefully next week we'll have an entire Catbot textured in a certain style. And can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Well, I just gotta say, I come to these shows to watch Wei Will like show us these things. That's like one of the reasons why for me I come to watch the 3D and see what's going on with that. Great job. Just
Yeah, I mean, what's a Catbot Cafe?
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's so good. So just a heads up, if you find us too quiet on the Discord because we're not talking enough, and it's because we're modeling like crazy right now, and we're making these assets, and everybody's like heads down on production, but we are very focused on marketing right now. Also, we have some big marketing things, and actually on the show, for the first show, you met some of our partners and collaborators. We had Blockchain Foundry since episode 1. You met our Crystallized Games devs who are making the game. We're also had our show on our animation studio collaborator, Don Porfirio. And tonight, we want to introduce you to a collaborator who has never been on our show, but we've been on their show. And I want to introduce you to Gary from Sovereign. Gary has invested, advised, and onboarded countless people into the crypto NFTs. Fun fact, he's a former professional poker player, investigations attorney, financial risk manager, and federal prosecutor. He possesses unique expertise in both finding unapparent value and preserving capital. So earlier this week, we had Jin, and he had a chance to sit down with Gary from Sovereign, and we just want to take a look at how that went. Let's go.
Gary, welcome to the Catbot Cafe. So glad to have you on the show.
Happy to be here. Thank you. I've been a longtime fan, first time interviewee, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. And I know we have a quick intro on yourselves, on ventures, and what you guys are doing. If you can give us a quick rundown on who you are, what you are about, and how we came to meet each other. Funny little story there as well.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Gary from Sovereign Ventures. Sovereign is a full-service NFT project accelerator, which was sort of born accidentally, randomly. I was just an NFT investor for a while, enjoying the space. I had been in crypto for a couple of years, and I decided that I'd been mostly involved in DeFi projects and other types of investment with early seed stage companies, which was interesting and engaging. But once NFTs came along, it kind of allowed me to tap into my creative side, which was always sort of bubbling under the surface. And then I saw the utility of these tokens, and it just made sense to me. So started investing on my own, and just trying to find, while I was investing, was trying to find ways to get involved with projects. One of these projects, I happened to ask the founders, it's called Smilesverse, which a lot of people now know, if they wanted any kind of help with operations or anything that I could offer up. And my partner, Ed Chow, who couldn't be here, he has a background in journalism. And so Ed and I came together, and we were trying to think of what we could offer project owners that would allow them to kind of take the sort of the meat of certain communications and marketing off their table and just focus on their core competencies, the art, the design, the rollouts. And we decided that that this would be a good play, that media would be something we could probably do pretty well. So we were able to get Smiles on CNBC, and they got a feature spot on the Shepard Smith show, and it did really, really well. And so from there, we kind of realized, hey, I think we have a business. And so we started kind of scaling up a little bit, and then we were talking to a few other projects about what we could offer. We knew that we could offer far more than just media services and just marketing services. So when I met Jin, I was actually at NFT NYC. And I was there for that reason. I was there to meet people, to kind of explain what we have to offer, and just try to see what was going on in the space. We had been long-term investors for a while, so we were in different types of whale chats and alpha chats, and we kind of have a pulse of what was going on in the street. And I wanted to kind of verify what I was hearing, and confirm that the kind of intel we had was actually sound, and that other people were thinking of things in the way that we were. And then also just do some development, some business development. And so when I met Jin, I had gone out the night before and gotten pretty drunk at a super rare party. And I woke up not of clear mind, and I was pretty tired. And I knew that I wanted to go to a morning panel where I thought Gary Vee was going to be speaking. And so I tried to get my partner. What's that?
We both did. We both thought
Yeah,
Gary was speaking that morning.
Right. So Gary V on the schedule, which was not updated at NFT NYC for such a well-run organization, well-run event, the scheduling could have been a little more succinct. And so they had like outdated schedules. And so I saw Gary V at like 8 a.m., which didn't make sense to me because I'm like, why is Gary V giving the 8 a.m. talk? But still, I was like, let me make sure I show up. So I tried to shake my partner, knock on his door and get him up. He wasn't getting up. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go to this event myself. So I'm on like 2.5 hours sleep. I run across Manhattan. I show up with a coffee to this big ballroom at a theater, and it's 8 a.m. and there's like 7 people there. And I'm like, this doesn't look right. This is not a Gary V talk. And then I'm thinking maybe he just got shuffled around. He'll come on like in a few minutes. And I look over to my left and there's Jin. We're both in the front row. Like, how could you get a front row seat to Gary V 5 minutes before showing up? Just didn't make sense. So then we both quickly realized we were not, in fact, at a Gary V event. That I don't even remember what the talk was, but poor panelists. They had like 7 people in the audience as opposed to like hundreds that were happening often there. So Jin reached over. We started talking about what we did, and we realized maybe we could help each other out. And we just kept that conversation going. And so it's pretty hilarious because Jin also thought he was going to hear Gary V that day, and he did not. And I invited Jin to our next event, which was the New York City DeFi meetup, where we had about 500 people. We've changed the name to include NFTs now. And so we had 100 people or so in person and about 600 or 700 virtually. And there are 500 in the group. And that was to kind of showcase a layer 1 protocol called Radix. It's a DeFi protocol that my partner Ed and I had been working with at the time, where we were planning on doing investments with them and helping them with some of their in real life events and some of their marketing. So they came over from the UK. We had a very successful event. Jin showed up. We got to chat a little bit there, and we just kept the conversation going. And we realized that given that we had these sort of connections with sort of major media companies that are very interested now all of a sudden in doing NFT stories, because NFTs are hot and they're interesting, when a year ago, the only stories they would have been doing on NFTs were fraud, rug pulls, who's out there to steal from the next person. And all of a sudden, these networks are interested in showcasing the art, showcasing the people. And so we have that sort of, we have that captive audience in them. And now we realize that we can kind of help projects this way. So that's the primary way we help projects. We've since diversified. And so we realized that projects, especially more independent, smaller projects, really want a full service operation. So in the case of Catbot, you guys already had an amazing team of artists. You already had a great team of devs in Blockchain Foundry. So you already had kind of all that put together. And we're just offering you bits and pieces for your project. But what we've started to do with newer clients is we actually offer a full service from front to back, working with devs, coordinating with them, and liaising between new project owners who, a lot of them really don't know much about NFTs and don't know much about the space. And so in many ways, we're sort of an ambassador, a coordinator of types between them and the devs, and also between them and artists if they need it, designers if they need it, all sorts of third parties. We sort of help quarterback all those operations. And we're actually seeing more of that. There's more demand for us to be a full service operation now than there was when we first started.
Awesome. That was such a great breakdown of kind of how we met, and also, what you guys are doing for the space. Working with Smilers, projects sold out. Working with Catbot, another project sold out. What is like your view on the current marketplace? You kind of went to that a little bit, but things, change so fast in the NFT space. You're a week later, and all of a sudden you're behind the times. So a lot of projects are looking for the full on, like how to get an NFT project. What are the things that you're seeing that are kind of upcoming trends in the space right now when it comes to NFT projects?
So I just came back from ETH Denver, and I was there for about 4 or 5 days. I can't remember. I think it was 4 days. It felt like 5 years, but it was an amazing experience. I heard Vitalik Buterin speak about the future of Ethereum, about Ethereum 2.0, about DAOs, about quadratic voting and quadratic funding. I also heard Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother, speak about the DAO that he's created. So DAOs were sort of the hot topic at ETH Denver. What was a big topic on most of the NFT discussions that I sat in was that people are sick of just straight PFP projects with no utility. So you kind of the vibe that I have now, what I've been hearing from everybody is you can't just have an art project on it for its own sake anymore and expect it to sell out and to do really well, because the palette for that, the tolerance for that is a lot less. And so you've got to have something innovative. You've got to be able to deliver on the roadmap that you have, because people are now really, the antennas are tuned up for projects that overpromise, because there's been so many of those. And so people are really skeptical. I feel like now it's much, much harder to launch a project now than it was just 3 months ago, let alone 6 months ago, because people have seen different iterations of well-prepared projects, and the quality with which that these different project owners came to the space with how they thought about what the add-on utility would be. It varies so much. And so to be competitive now, you've got to be able to demonstrate why your project is going to have staying power. You've got to be able to demonstrate why your team is situated to deliver on that, why your dev team is in a place where they can always produce and not have delays and glitches and technicality issues or security breaches that will put their users in a bad position. So the common theme that I'm hearing now is you've got to have some oomph to your project. And in your case, obviously, you guys were unique. And the reason why we were excited to work with you was because you had shared with us sort of where you were along in the path, and you and your team had thought about, where you guys were going to be 2 years from now, 4 years from now. You were talking about the animated series. You were talking about the video game. You were building it. You were in the process of it. You've done these things. You weren't just theorizing, and you weren't just promising stuff that wasn't going to happen. And so that was what's most appealing to me, because people will, if you have a project where it's just roadmap, hey, we might do this, you're going to get shot down. People aren't interested. And you're not going to sell out probably. And if you do, you're going to struggle. So thinking clearly about what you're going to contribute to the future of the space, why people are going to benefit from holding a token that you're creating, and what you're actually providing to the ecosystem. How are you helping the NFT space as a whole? People are way more interested in that now than they ever were.
That's a great recap of kind of where the space is. And, I've been talking to other projects as well. They're saying like for a 12,000, PFP project like our own, that starting one now is like such a challenging exercise. It was difficult already 3 months ago or 6 months ago when it kind of started. When it comes to future utility in a project like a generative PFP, what are your expectations, both in the marketplace, but also for yourself? Now that you're working with Smilers and Catbot, what would you say if you're projecting like 3 months in the future? What kind of things do you think the marketplace is really going to be looking for, anticipating?
Well, I think one of the things we're hearing from a lot of the, not just folks that are interested investors, but also a lot of the folks that are approaching us with project ideas for their IP, is more and more discussion around the metaverse plays, like what exactly is going to happen, where they want to be building, what the capacity is in the spaces they'll be in, what type of metaverse opportunities they'll be able to kind of leverage. So that's been sort of the hottest topic I've heard lately. For example, lately we've been approached by a few different types of music facing NFT/metaverse projects, potential metaverse projects. And at ETH Denver, I spent a lot of time around the discussions around music and metaverse, music and NFTs, trying to just see what the latest trends were for musicians who were creating, how they were thinking about what they wanted to get out of the metaverse and out of sort of an NFT play. And I actually sat in this amazing performance given by an opera singer. So we're in the middle of this building where it's like 4 or 5 floors. It's pictured like a straight tech conference. And then you have this Juilliard trained opera singer who's created her own opera verse. And she's just belting out opera in the middle of this like geek parade, right? Pretty much just a bunch of techies. And all of a sudden there's a woman who's got these chops who's just singing unbelievably. And in the real time, it was being cast in the metaverse because she's created something called Operaverse. And this Operaverse space that she designed is just gorgeous, and it allows her to provide her token holders with very intimate and unique virtual experiences, virtual concerts in their house. Some of the token holders, depending on the tier, she actually sends them the Oculus, sends them the actual apparatus for them to be a part of the experience. And that was one like great example. I'm glad ETH Denver thought to do it that way, where they didn't just have a talk, but they had this amazing performance out of nowhere, because it just showed the power of what the AR and that virtual reality experience is going to be like for the musical space. And so people were really like, once people were stopping in their tracks, like wishing they had sat down and found a seat for this talk that looked like it was just going to be a pedestrian talk, because it obviously embodied where things are going. And so more of those types of experiences, more of the type of thing where your NFT can become an experiential value. I think that's what people want. And whether it's, it could be in the name of Catbotica, it could be just by virtue of your avatar in a game, like something that's going to allow you to claim ownership over some form of, maybe not actual ownership over the IP, but some form of like, you get to control your destiny by way of what you own. I mean, and so obviously P2E is one of those things, but people have been really hot on, for us, it's like, what are you guys going to do? How can you help us with building out our metaverse plays? And that's sort of what we're hearing the most about right now. We met at NFT NYC in person, and, serendipity and right timing, and, trying to make, take advantage of a missed opportunity, potentially turn it into an opportunity. The real life meeting type of things, like you also were at the Bright Moments where we did a pop-up exhibition. We saw a photo of you and you took a selfie with the Catbot. I just came back from Jackson Hole, had a great experience with Bernoulli Locke and Locke, their team over there. The intimacy of that setting, it was only like 200 people gathered together. So it's very different in terms of that experience. You just referenced, the experience you had over in Denver. And I know we're planning on, in April, hosting another in-live person event. Can you speak to what the importance is between the physical and the digital experiences? And tell us also what's planned for the future in April. So I have you to thank for introducing me to Bright Moments. I went there just to support Catbotica with a friend of mine who loves Catbotica also. And we just wanted, we're like, hey, maybe we can get a different role in the Discord server. We could help support Jin and team, and it would be pretty cool to see this space. Next thing you know, I am a crypto citizen holder. I bought a crypto New Yorker. I'm a member of the DAO there at Bright Moments. I became a believer because walking into this space, there's nothing quite like it. I mean, these guys have it right. If you're going to onboard people, what better way to onboard people who have no idea what NFTs are, who barely know what crypto is, than to bring them into this beautiful gallery where you can visually see everything in high quality definition. You can be a part of it. And when they do live mints there, which is, unbelievable, it's so exciting. Like I thought it'd be like, it'd be cool. I'll go check out this gallery. No, I went there and I was blown away. I walked in and I'm like, this is an experience. And they have a downstairs where they have a humongous set of monitors where you can see like a very widescreen shot of your NFT. And it's just to see it come to life like that. That's how you're going to onboard people. That's exactly the way people should be entering the space. And so to your question, what value do I see? I mean, that IRL events are the way that we're going to get mass adoption. Doing what you did in Jackson Hole, doing what Bright Moments is doing around the world, that's going to be the key to how we kind of draw people in, because all people are hearing, when I talk to people that don't know anything about NFTs, they hear NFTs are a scam. They hear it's a Ponzi scheme. They hear it's a fraud. They don't understand why having something in our pocket that they can right click save is going to have value. Like they don't get it until you see it. And once you see it in person, it's ironic, right? Because they're seeing a physical projection of what they have on the blockchain, but it sometimes takes that to trigger in someone's mind, oh, this is art. This has value. This is real. And so Bright Moments embodies that to me. So to do this event that we have coming up that we just talked about with the Bright Moments team today, and all together with you guys, with Catbotica and Smilesverse in April, to me, it's a necessary event. I think that everybody who owns an NFT at some point should have the experience of being in person in a community where they can kind of collectively all appreciate the art that they have and be able to kind of understand its place in the ecosystem. So it's not just you're just looking at something on OpenSea on secondary, watching the floor go up and down. You're actually understanding the value intrinsically of it. And you get such a cool sense from being in that space. I mean, it's really, there's nothing like it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm such a big believer now, having gone to these experiences, how much the physical and digital is really going to interface. That relationship is going to be a sociological experiment for one thing, but the actual experience of seeing your NFT in a large format screen, it changes the relationship with your NFT. And I found that people in Korea as well, when they approached and they saw their NFT and they took a selfie with it, it became more personal to them. It became more like a real life thing instead of something you see on your screen on your cell phone. All right, so next I have kind of a bonus question. What's your favorite property, accessory, trait about Catbotica?
Man, I look for two traits in particular when I'm sniping my deals. I'm always looking at bases, so I want to make sure I'm set up for the 3D future. So I make sure I have the most rare bases possible. Austin, our team member, who got very lucky and got himself a diamond base in one of the things that he bought. So I was Austin has the greatest luck on earth. So we all joke. We're like, oh, that's all you got is one diamond base. But I've went and purchased a bunch of really rare bases, and then also the torsos. So for me, I'm trying to collect all the torsos, and I'm trying to make sure my bases are set up so that when it comes time for that Catron, I've got a whole bunch of things set up. So those are what I look for. You guys have talked about gold a lot, even though it's not the rarest. So just because I've heard that a lot, I've acquired a few gold bases, just because I think gold is always interesting. But I like the transparent base actually too. And as far as torsos go, all the elementals are really cool. So yeah, those are the two properties. And as far as they go, it's tough to say which specifically I really like, because I'm just making sure I'm covered for the future.
I love that, covering your bases, quote unquote. See what I did there?
Nice. That's right.
What else is great to just see you're familiar with the project itself. You're not just supporting just the team, but also, getting into the whole Catbotica ecosystem itself, and, looking forward to the Catrons and all that. So I appreciate your support in that respect. Yeah. Anything, just last thoughts or any alpha you want to drop, how you want to wrap this up?
No, I mean, as far as Sovereign itself goes, we have it's at a very exciting time where a little guy like us can get the attention of some very major players in the creative space. So we've had people of sort of world recognition reach out to us recently, where we're pretty excited about what we might be doing for bringing some large IPs into the NFT space and into the metaverse. So that's very exciting from our end. And then from a Catbotica perspective, we're all looking for those nano cats. We all can't wait for what's next in the 3D versions. I know that in my own little private whale chat, I'm often trying to kind of explain to everybody what they need to be looking for, what's going to happen. So people are already gaming things out that I talk to. And I just feel like, you guys are doing things at a really steady pace. And so I feel like I feel like 2022 is going to be a huge year, knowing how you guys operate. And obviously we're going to be here to support you every which way possible. So I feel like it's our goal to make sure that the things you're working on get the broadest audience possible. So I'm excited about helping you out in that regard and helping Catbotica grow, because more people need to see high quality projects that are designed by high quality people that have a lot of utility and a lot of value.
Awesome, Gary. It's such a pleasure to have you on. Such a great opportunity to really be working with Sovereign. And you guys are growing tremendously as well. You got a lot of stuff cooking in your pots as well. So to be partnered up with that and having the support, I think it's just been so exciting. Yeah, 2022 is just going to be bonkers. It's literally bonkers. So thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And we'll be hearing from you soon once we get closer to the April event as well.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Take care.
All right. Thanks so much, Jen. Thanks so much, Gary. I see Gary in the chat. It's so good to have you on the show. that was amazing. We hope to have more guests like that on the show. It's just so good to hear what's happening in the NFT scene. It's constantly updating, constantly evolving, and we just got to stay fresh with all that stuff, right? So speaking of evolving, and we have the Korean community, Catbot community, on the show today. We got Dandelion. So Dandelion, you there?
네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
텍스텍 한국팀 대표 댄들리언입니다.
You're
이번
of the Korean community Catbot team.
전해드리려고 합니다. 저희가
I'm going to tell you news about our Catbot project in Korea.
서로 간의 혜택이나 도움을 주고받을 수 있으면 좋겠다는 생각을 가지고
One of our members were asking about the benefits that you can get if you have a Catbot.
모임을 통해 멤버들에게 혜택을 줄 수 있는 분들의 정보를 받았거든요. 그래서 우리는 캣보디카 한국 커뮤니티다라는 주제로 멤버 간의 혜택을 이렇게 리스트 표로 만들었고 또 한국 멤버의 이렇게 지역별 분포도를 만들어서 한국
So we made a list of all the benefits that the members can get by holding a Catbot.
커뮤니티를 더욱 강화하게 하였습니다. 그래서 이번 주 내에 이 정보를 더 추가하고 수정해서 최종적으로 해당 리스트를 다시 한번 발표할 예정이고 앞으로 요거를
We're
가지고
going to be announcing another list about Catbotica later this week, and we are doing what we can to bring life to the Korean community in the Catbotica world.
소통하고 또 교류할 수 있는 장을 만들 수 있도록 앞으로도
And in the future, we want to we're going to put in a lot of effort so that the Korean community can work together and cooperate with each other.
So great to see like the numbers of holders per region in Korea. It's always awesome to see that we have an international community just coming together. Thanks so much, Dandelion. And next up, we got Catbotica community questions and suggestions. Hey, Triton, you there to ask some questions from the community?
Yes, I am. Hello again.
Hey,
Let's
Triton.
see. We got from NWPTZ. I have a question regarding NV1, but I'm not sure if today Cafe will cover the topic. Let's say I got 5 NV1, but I only used 3 for making 3D catbots. What can I do with the remaining 2 NV1s? Can I only sell it? But if I sell it, what is the use of the NV1 for the buyer? Is there any other NV1 utilities that can be revealed to us? Something like maybe it can be used for exchanging with the NV2s?
Yes, thank you for the question. As everything that we have in our ecosystem, there always is going to be more utility embedded into things. So for sure, the NV1s, once you make your 3D Catbot, the replicats, there will be for future utility as well when it comes to the Catrons. So we're still working out the system between NV1s and NV2s and what the relationship is going to be. But that is one of the things we have already determined, that the NV1s will be used in crafting the Catrons. So make sure that you can sell, you can hold. This is not financial advice, or do your own research. How it is that you decide to play it out is really part of the gamification strategies that each individual holder. We're really hoping that you guys have a lot of fun with that. But this is kind of built into the system. We want to give everyone opportunities to take each one of the NFTs that we have in the ecosystem and be able to have some fun with it. So yes, so there will be future utility for the NV1s.
All right. Thank you, Jin. All right. Next question from 2make72 CB Trainer. Hey guys, what if you don't have a Kaikas account for the giveaway for Sunmia giveaway? I understand it's on a different it's a different currency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Sunmia NFT, her project is on the Clayton blockchain. Clayton is a very interesting blockchain that it is native to South Korea. They're actually one of the 3 blockchains, if you didn't know this, there's one of the 3 blockchains that is currently on OpenSea. So you have Ethereum, you have Polygonmatic, and then you have Clayton. So because of that, there is the anticipation that the Clayton will become a cryptocurrency that could be adopted in the future. Again, do your research. Kaikas is the wallet that is used primarily for Clayton. I believe there is some sort of interface with MetaMask, but I do believe you need to have a Kaikas account. So if you do get the giveaway, make sure you do create one. We don't have all the instructions set up, but it's you should be able to just Google it and find how you can download a Kaikas account and get a wallet for yourself. So we recommend that process.
Cool. Yeah, I saw people in the Gen chat were saying that it took them about 5 minutes to set it up. It wasn't too complicated. So if you have any questions, feel free to go to the Gen chat in our Discord to ask about it. And if anyone knows, we will be happy to help. Okay, let's see.
All right.
So comment.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I speak to this one? Because like this one, I got excited for the slush one.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. I forgot.
Yeah. We got this great question from Slush this week. He asks, "Hi, can you take a moment and sum up your promotion strategy? This project is amazing, but it feels like it's not using any of the traditional NFT marketing strategies that gain attention. The entire community of owners feels quiet. Can you share your thoughts and insights into this, please? Thank you in advance." So thanks, Slush, for that question. I actually got this message from Grant asking me if I can answer it at 6:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Thanks, Grant. But it just so happens at that very moment I was reading a marketing book while drinking a coffee. And so this book is called This is Marketing by Seth Godin. And for those who are interested in marketing, I highly, highly recommend this book. So your question was about traditional NFT marketing. NFTs are kind of new. I know like a day feels like a week and a month equals a year, right? In the space, Jin, you say that a lot. So traditional, I guess, in the sense of like what was happening in the past 2 years. I don't know so much about the traditional means in this sense, but we know that there are traditional marketing strategies that in the long term, and we're all about making the world a better place through this. So I responded, the marketing principles we are following to our core are from this book. So let me share those principles now. So what I'm about to read to you are the 5 steps to marketing from Seth Godin's book, This is Marketing. And the first step is to invent a thing worth making with a story worth telling and a contribution worth talking about. The second step is to design and build it in a way that a few people will particularly benefit from and care about. The third step is to tell a story that matches the built-in narrative and dreams of that tiny group of people, the smallest viable market. The fourth step is one that everyone gets excited about: spread the word. And last step is often overlooked: show up regularly, consistently, and generously for years and years to organize, lead, and build confidence in the change you seek to make, to earn permission to follow up, and to enroll to teach. So those are the 5 steps. I responded with that. And actually, ArcFather had an awesome response too. The community of owners feels quiet. That's because we are staying away from hype and not encouraging or giving incentives to promote except for retweets. We want to be judged on performance to promises and excellence. We want the community that is there for the long term based on common values, not people buying NFTs to flip. We are creating friendships based on mutual respect of talent and desires to help each other succeed in our ambitions and dreams. I'm always stunned how by default, people here are true entrepreneurs for life. Each will grow, make mistakes, learn, but live a very enriched life and contribute to the success of others. Then you can look back and be proud of who you are and what you have become. Slush and everyone, please keep pushing us with any and all questions. We need to continually revisit and reconsider our assumptions and be agile to things to adapt quickly as needed. Making mistakes is not important. It's how quickly you fix them. So we got actually ArcFather here. Those are so wise, such a wise, all those years of experience. And you want to say anything to that?
Just probably what I would say at the end. One of the most exciting things for me is Marshall McLuhan's Global Village became real in the early 90s with the internet beginning. It's even more real to me, and I'm so proud to find the whole Korean community involved. So we have like-minded people on a global basis, having the same passions, the same interests, the same cultural values. And so you often hear people say we should focus on our common traits. And I say, no, we should treasure our differences.
Beautiful. Thanks for yes. Thanks so much for supporting me in that on that thread there. And yeah, we love questions like this, like the ones that are coming in and challenging us. It's not like so much that we feel challenged or anything. It's we don't even think of it as FUD or anything. It's really like pressure for us to succeed. And we also love to hear like the feedback and ideas from the community, because he actually had Slush actually shared some really good ideas of what we could do. And that whole suggestions thread is thriving with ideas, and we're always looking at that, and we're always discussing those things as partners and founders. So Melik writes, thanks for sharing this. I believe it really summarized Catbot's approach. Thank you, ArcFather, for taking the time to write these wise words. I feel humbled and happy to be part of this amazing journey. The way you talk about the essence of entrepreneurship is inspiring and touched my heart deeply. So Slush responded, thanks for response. It's old school for the NFT space, but tried and tested approaches like this make for a strong foundation. So in your opinion, what steps are you on right now? Very good question. Excellent question. So let's pull up those steps. I would say we're working on all steps at all time. As you saw from Way of Will, we're making a project we are proud of. All the attention to detail, the story, the quality is so important. Just everything to the leg, the way the leg works. We see members of this community benefiting from this project. Friends and family are benefiting. NFTs have actually brought me closer to my family and friends. And I think Jin can speak to that as well. We were talking about that over lunch the other day. Number three, the story Rawls and Will are writing. Will, I mean, story is everything. It's actually driving all of this, and this narrative. It's like it's deeply enrooted in these guys. They're so passionate about it. They're meeting about it every day, talking about the story. And step 5, showing up. That's why we're having these Catbot cafes every week, and that's why we have our team on Discord all the time, nonstop. Doing this show, let's be honest, it wasn't an easy decision. It's kind of challenging putting yourself out there every week. But we felt that, if we're all docs at the end, like we're all, that's how else are we going to serve you guys, right? Other than being there for you guys and showing up every week. So that step 5 is everything. And I think in particular, we really want to ramp up step number 4, spreading the word. And our foundation is strong, and we're excited to spread the word. And Jin, I know we're cooking up some exciting things. Do you want to speak to that as we lead up to 3D?
Yeah, sure. So really this next leg for us is taking it now to more of an outward facing approach. So when we look and see, we have a couple of campaigns that we're about to launch. You have seen some of the results of what we're doing so far. Like we went to Jackson Hole. In real life is going to be a big part of this, we believe. It may seem like it is kind of old school, but when it comes down to it, people are always craving to be able to interact and encounter people and see who the people are behind projects and, shake someone's hand or just be able to touch the material or have that kind of more in-person kind of experience. One of the things that's very different from what we're doing as well is that a lot of projects try to bring a lot of hype to get their projects launched. And then afterwards, there's no real follow-up in that respect. So we've kind of taken a different approach where we want to make sure that when we bring the hype and we bring all the attention, we're really built for that. So one of the major things we focused, if you can see in all the partners we brought on, it occurred to me just the other day that we actually have been focusing on building infrastructure. And what I mean by that, it's the people, the partners who, as we build, can really allow us to scale where we need to. So we can grow and scale as the attention comes on and we can start to really market. So the next leg, as I was saying, we're going to be doing a couple of campaigns, one in Korea that's going to be very exciting. We think it's going to get a lot of attention over there as well. And, all the collaborations that we have with Metacongs, with Sunmia Club, Electric Pixel Kongs, there's a lot of exciting things going on in that respect. And one of the big things that we're planning for now is at the end of March, in about a month, we are going to be going to NFTLA. So we're going to do a pretty big build-up for that event. And you'll see a lot of the things that we're collaborating with, Bernoulli Locke, Shelley Palmer, Blockchain Foundry. Meta Academy is going to be something really big that's going to be, you're going to start to hear a lot about Meta Academy as well. So we are going to be launching into the phase where we can now start to scale, and you will start to see a lot more attention to the project. So we're very excited, and we just wanted to take the time, really thank all of our holders for the patience, because it does take time and it does take energy and patience to be able to build to what we've been building towards. But we are heading into that now, and as the next couple of weeks come by, as we get into the Nano Cats, the 3D Cats, we got so much exciting things going on. So stick with us. Again, thanks for your patience. But we're starting to ramp up, and you'll see a lot of things happening this upcoming month. So look forward to it.
I also want to just say thank you so much to the community, because I'm so grateful that we have a community that wants to share this project, right? How many companies have that? We're lucky in that sense. And I just want to point that out, that none of this would be possible without an awesome community. And I love seeing the Twitters and people sharing just bits from this AMA out of their own accord. And I don't know, Will I think a lot of it, we just got to give these people things to share, right? Well, the 3D stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's also kind of the frustrating part. When we started this project, we were really concerned about, what we were sharing and is it good enough to show right now? And there's a tremendous amount of pressure every day. Are we going to show something next week? But there's so many people who have supported us in the chats, talking to me directly when I'm interacting in Gen chats. Sorry, I haven't been able to do it more recently. I've just been so nose deep into all the 3D generation. But just seeing the retweets, like you're saying, is such a tremendous motivation. And we're reaching a really cool precipice with the project where all the models are virtually done, and now we get to spend the time to actually shader and texture them and get more involved in the lore and the story. So there's going to be a lot more interaction from the partners with the community. We're going to try and do more AMAs in a sense of just answering questions and being a little bit more real time. Maybe even have a session where we're actually working and we share our screens on a live stream and you guys just see us working. See our process, because a big part of what we want to do is actually share the knowledge, on how to do these things. Really, we wouldn't have gotten this far without learning from the wider community. For crying out loud, I was formerly trained in visual effects and animation, but most of what we're doing now and showing to you guys, learned it all from YouTube. So paying it forward and giving it back to you guys is really on our mind, and we're thinking about it constantly and how we can do that. And so, yeah, guys, just stick with us. We're taking the time because we want to do it really, really well. And these AMAs are really to just show our appreciation and show you guys the process, show you guys that we're still alive and we're killing it. And our energy is through the roof right now. So can't wait to show you guys more.
Yeah, I'm reading the chats. I got STQ888. Please give us more. So we're gonna deliver to you guys. Don't worry. We'll give you the stuff to share. I'm kind of hearing some noise from some signal from ops. Wait, no signal. Actually, no signal. False alarm. Well, with that, I just want to say next Catbot Cafe is Wednesday, March 2nd. 2022, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see you there. Any last words, Way of Jin? Renee?
I've just been trying to figure out, since we're live streaming in 2 languages, could I be listening in one here, in one language, and the other one, and be learning how to become fluent in Korean? And could Korean people be learning English, comparing what they hear in each ear?
It could work. It could work.
On that note, I actually want to give one last shout out to Dan, who's our Korean translator, working really hard on the other side, translating real time. He's also a programmer too. He's helping me program the 3D Catbot generator. We got such a talented team here. It's so just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, guys. And keep the questions coming on Discord.
Yo, thanks, guys.
Everyone.
Peace.
Comparing what they hear each year.
Thank you.
Comments made by anyone on our team or from anyone who owns Catbots should always be interpreted as unbridled personal enthusiasm and never as investment or financial advice. Deliverables discussed on the show represent timelines that we hope to achieve. How people value Catbots can be subjective. Always get advice from a registered professional investment advisor before deciding to buy, hold, or sell Catbots or related products.